So that's it. What, we some kind of suicide squad?
Tom.
Jeff.
People listening at home.
Batman.
Welcome to another episode of in which we technically watch Batman today.
We are really... The watch Batman portion of the title is doing a lot of heavy lifting today.
I mean...
that technicality is carrying a killer croc-sized weight.
And I'm going to be 100% honest, we're paying for it. But we're very happy to be joined by our guest. If you are listening to this, you probably saw who the guest was. Gamefully Unemployed's own David Bell.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey!
Really?
Thanks for having me on.
You want to thank us for making you watch Suicide
Thanks
Squad?
so much for this. It took me 3 hours to watch this movie.
It took me about almost 4, yeah.
Okay.
Because of notes.
Oh,
pretty intense,
I
yeah.
had to keep turning it off and walking away. And
I understand.
yeah.
I understand, Superman. Yeah, this movie is very Batman heavy in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the last scene.
I assumed we weren't going to talk a lot about Batman.
No, Batman's... Well, we're gonna try
Batman's
to...
he's like a specter over a lot of these characters.
There's definitely something to say about what Batman has done
Right.
to this world.
Yeah. Batman is more... It's like a haunting in this movie.
Yeah, they speak about him like he's an old man living in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Well...
He just has that one piece of property at the edge of like an area they're trying to develop, and he refuses to sell, and they can't get him out there.
It's called Wayne Manor.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
And he actually does have that.
Here's the one thing. I'm just going to blow my load here. And
Yeah,
the thing
let's
that
go.
struck me about Batman in this, and you guys are, more Batman experienced than I.
We're Batman savvy, yeah.
But
Yeah.
having watched a lot of Batmans, he's treated like a cop in this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Viola Davis is like, I sent an anonymous tip to Batman. And it's like, okay, how do you even do that? Does he have a number?
Well, we find out later that she knows exactly who he is.
Right. And then the other time we see him, she sends an anonymous tip, and to which he just goes and arrests Deadshot. And then later he tries to pull over the Joker. He's like a patrolling cop in this, where the Joker's just speeding down the road and Batman. It's weird.
That's how he kind of always is, though.
That's why I brought it up, is because yes and no. It feels like, isn't Batman style more like going to their lairs and ambushing them?
No, he's like a firefighter.
Yeah.
He's more of a firefighter than he is.
Okay.
I know it doesn't seem you think of it that way, but it's actually never really the case.
I guess
Right.
I you know what? I guess it's because all the other Batman stuff, we see it from his perspective.
Especially not this Batman.
Yeah.
Because this Batman will shoot a Gatling gun into traffic.
Yes.
Yes. He'll just whip a fucking Jeep Cherokee through the street. He doesn't give a shit. Swing that thing around like a flail.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Did
So
we say what the title of the movie? Did we say the movie?
Did we talk about how we're watching Suicide Squad?
Did we mention that we're watching Suicide Squad?
Which I will say I don't hate.
Can I make a counterpoint?
Yeah, I would expect nothing less.
I hate.
I get it.
Okay.
Did you watch Batman vs. Superman last week?
No.
You'd hate Suicide Squad less.
Okay.
It's a merciful 2 hours and 2 minutes long.
Okay. I had a lot of trouble getting through this movie.
As opposed
No,
to
it's not.
the lobstered gauntlet punishing axe handle smash that is the 2.5 hour Batman v Superman.
Quick story about Batman v Superman is I have a friend who's real, I guess you could call him a movie snob. He's not, but he likes good movies, old classics. He has that Scorsese attitude. And he didn't even give superhero films a chance.
Yeah.
And when I came to LA, he's in LA, and I was like, well, let's just do one. And it just happened to be Batman v Superman was out that week, and he had agreed to go, and he sat through the whole thing hunched over, like holding his head, and like I couldn't defend it. I was like, they're not all like that, I swear. But he never gave it him another chance. I felt really bad.
I'm gonna say that you shouldn't feel bad because not for nothing, because I like you, and I'm sure I like the people that you like. I like
you too.
But, like, that sounds like a real prick move on his side.
No, he was nice about it. It was just that he wasn't like, he never bashed superhero films. He was just like, not for me. I don't want to go.
Oh, okay.
And I was basically dragged him to a superhero film.
And you didn't take him to like a Marvel movie?
Well, it was just, that was what was out, and we were all going to the movies, so it was just like, you come along.
You could have seen Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, and then when we got out, I just had to like apologize and be like, yeah, that's not. I thought it was going to be like maybe a good one. And that was a nightmare.
I think we all wanted it to be a good one.
Yeah.
I think most people with Batman vs. Superman were hoping a course correct from Man of Steel, or that like it was going to be about Clark dealing with the fact that he had to commit a murder.
Yeah.
And instead he just doubles down hard.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's what you're going for. So now Suicide Squad, Batman shows up, and you're right. He's a specter over the lives of a lot of these characters. Mm-hmm. And we start by meeting the characters. We're at a black site at I believe it's Bell Rev prison.
He's like a constant phone calls from a collection agency.
Yeah.
Yes. House of the Rise, like their soundtrack does not match the aesthetic of this film.
I wrote it
it's
down.
all over the place.
In the first 3 minutes, there are 3 different songs played,
and they lean heavily on classic rock.
Yeah.
And this movie for sure has the Hot Topic vibe, and I can't pretend it doesn't.
It's hard to talk about this movie. Like, I know you're going through the scenes, you're about to. It's hard to talk about it that way because it's like we know what happened. Future generations won't, but like this movie was butchered in post.
Yes.
The writing, I don't think this writing was very good to begin with.
It's David Ayer, right?
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
But it's like there's no I like you were just about to say the movie starts like this, and I was going to contest that the movie starts at all, because it's just like it's 40 minutes of intros and songs.
There's a lot of, but that's, I guess, how you have to do a movie like this, where you're kind of diving into the deep end. But yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of early exposition in this film.
Yeah, it just narrative wise, it was a train wreck.
I would also like to address the generous amount of Ike Barinholtz there is in this film, and how much they use Mad TV's Ike Barinholtz as a viable badass. Like
wait, who does he play?
He's the guard, the main guard.
Oh, and the prison that is just run by maniacs.
In Bel Rev prison, yeah. Well, it's essentially it's a black site prison.
Yeah.
It's fucking Gitmo. Like you know what's happening there, because it's kind of like what we saw happening in other prisons.
It's Gitmo, but like the cells, like why is Harley Quinn in that cage?
I have that question.
Okay.
No, we'll get there.
Okay.
So we're gonna go. So it starts.
I'll try to contain.
It starts with Will Smith beating a heavy bag, because when he's in jail, they let him have a heavy bag.
Right.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you let?
That can't possibly go wrong.
Why wouldn't you let professional sharpshooter and professional murder man Will Smith continue to stay in great shape?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you let like world-renowned, infamous killer for hire Floyd Lawton continue to get in fantastic shape in his jail cell?
Speaking of fantastic shape, Harley Quinn took one of those like ropes classes.
Yes, she's doing like Circus Olay shit.
Yeah, like you can tell that Margot Robbie took those like it's like a gymnastics. It's an acrobatics, silks.
Yeah.
It's like silks is what it is. And you can 100% tell that she took a bunch of those classes for this movie.
Yeah.
Or she did wanted to incorporate it. She's got like all these weird sheets that she's like set up, and it's like, if she's
why is
sleeping
any
on
of
the
that
ground.
happening?
Like, why are you letting that happen?
Yeah. Can I back up and recite the first 3 lines of this movie?
Can I say that? Can I back up when we're less than 30 seconds into the movie is a great situation.
Yeah. That's the situation we've stumbled into with Suicide Squad.
First 3 lines of this movie said by the guards is one of them says, "Chow time." The next one says, "It's time." And then they say, "Floyd, it's dinner time." Those are the first 3 lines of the fucking movie.
It sounds like a dog food commercial.
Yeah.
And it's, what's this? Loaf.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. And also, Will Smith's character has like massive ODD. Like, it's clearly how he's very oppositionally defiant because he keeps being like, "I'm gonna kill you." Like, he says that to everybody. I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna kill you.
Right. And their instinct later is to give this guy loaded guns.
Yeah. So this is the first movie that happens after the death of Superman in Batman versus Superman. And so Amanda Waller is sort of reiterating what Lex Luthor was talking about in the first movie, which is, you don't know that Superman wasn't just getting you like lazy fat cattle so he could slaughter you all.
Right.
Like, or you don't know if the next guy is going to be like him. Like, what are the odds that an extraterrestrial being is going to share your same moral fiber?
Right.
So there's basically this idea of Task Force X, which we will find out is what the Suicide Squad is.
Yes. And can I... Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Can I talk about this for hours? The basic premise, they say it multiple times in this movie. They say, for the next Superman, we need to get, we need something in for the next Superman comes around, we need a team. So they got Deadshot. His power is can fire bullets perfectly. Bullets, the thing we all know Superman is affected by.
Yeah, but you have one kryptonite bullet. Who do you want to give it to?
Yeah, that's fair. Harley Quinn, who is a juggalo with a mallet.
With a baseball bat.
Yeah.
A guy who can create fire, which is probably the most powerful person.
Like
He's
him
by
and,
far the
him
most
and
powerful
Enchantress. Yeah, him and Enchantress.
None of this can hurt Superman.
I feel like it has to be kryptonite based. Like Killer Croc could bite Superman's throat.
Then show some kryptonite.
But it's also a Black Ops team, too.
Right.
Like they're saying, saying that, but what she's meaning is, I need metahumans to do my dirty work.
Yes, I guess. But they constantly keep reminding us this is for the next Superman.
But yeah, that's like why we got the Patriot Act. It's for the next 9/11.
Right.
It's not really what they wanted it for, but it's an opportunity to use it for that.
It's just really funny because they ultimately, not to like skip ahead, cause the only conflict of the movie is caused by them.
Yes.
Everything they do is bad. They do everything they do is dumb, and it reminded me of if and at the same time we know the Justice League is happening. So that's what's funny to me is it reminds me of if like the Avengers was happening and then there was like a Kmart shield that was like, we need to be prepared for Thanos, and like was putting together like weird criminals.
Right.
Meanwhile,
nobody with any powers.
Yeah, and the whole time it's like, no, you don't need to do that. The Justice League is already is happening.
Yeah, but the Justice League isn't controlled by the country.
I know.
They're trying
it's
to
just really funny because they're like, we need to prepare for the next Superman. It's like, maybe you should get that like Flash guy.
Yeah.
Like one of if you can control your group by putting bombs in their faces, it feels like they can't take on Superman or the next.
What I think this really comes down to, and I've never really thought about it like this until you brought it up, is Amanda Waller saying, I want this to do my dirty work.
Yes.
Not for the Superman thing. Like, that isn't the real important thing to me. What's important to me is that I have a group of people that I have over I've got their feet over the fire.
Right.
And they can do the assassinations and the thefts and the dirty work that the Justice League won't do. Because she needs murderers. Like, she needs assassins. She needs people with low moral fiber. So use Superman as an example. And you see the first thing she does is sell David Harbour on it.
Right.
Who then, because this is right before David Harbour is like...
Right. This is like as Stranger Things is coming out.
Yeah. And then he's like, man, probably should have held out for a better role.
Right, he's barely in it.
Yeah, he's just like a general that's like basically sold on the idea. It's like Suicide Squad is Amway, and he just bought under Amanda Waller. So now he's there to convince everybody else. So
sorry, just one final thing. It's just in terms of watching these movies and this movie coming out and us knowing that there's going to be a Justice League and stuff. It's like if Marvel put out a film that's just about a team of Hawkeyes. Like it's that. We're taking the least impressive characters.
Yeah.
And giving them their own movie.
Well, except for fucking... Well, they did. They did Black Widow. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I guess
And they're giving Hawkeye a series.
Yes.
But
it's like if right before like Infinity War, there was someone else being like, we need to prepare, and then they just got a bunch of.
I think they did that in the Defenders, didn't they?
I guess they did, but that was like Netflix, and it was.
But it was
like,
also after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No.
I just.
There's a lot to discuss about this movie.
Yeah.
It's how are we going to pare this down to enough time? I guess is the main thing here, but. You want these characters to do shitty things, and Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, they're too powerful to be held to do shitty things.
Right.
So get criminals that you already have, and have them do shitty things. And so we start with Floyd Lawton dead start, and they say the most wanted hitman in the world, except you caught him, so he's not wanted anymore.
This is true.
Like, I love that she says that, and I'm like, he's not wanted. You got him.
Well, at a time.
Yeah. Or he's like the most...
you would still say Super Bowl MVP, even though he wasn't... It's been like 10 or 12 Super Bowls ago.
And so Deadshot, at first I thought his superpower is he has a really cool monocle.
He was good at math.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's good at math. But yeah, okay, so he can do shots without his monocle. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The monocle is really more of like a like heat vision. And
okay.
It's all not heat vision, but like thermal vision and shit. Like,
when they intro them, they show him like using it to like zoom in, and I was like, well, shit, just give me that. I can be Deadshot too.
You gotta have a steady hand, bro.
Yeah, it's fine.
And it shows him, and he's basically like extorting a mobster.
Yes.
To do a hit because he's like, you haven't paid me yet. I want my money up front. And then whatever.
What a garbage mobster, by the way, who thought that he could negotiate with the hitman like the day of.
Yeah.
Like who just didn't pay. Like you pay your hitman. Pay your hitman.
The hitman that regularly fights Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I also really like how like side quest here. The Joker and Harley Quinn, they like kind of talk about the Bat, but like fucking Deadshot like has a real hard on for Batman.
Yeah, he does.
Because as we find out, he's like his only weakness is his daughter, and then it's like we find out that like the wife is kind of his ex-wife is kind of like a junkie or something or a party girl, and he's like come with me. I just came into some money, $2 million.
Right.
Which is like, have you not been assassinating people?
Was this your first job? Did you spend it all on that outfit?
Yeah,
because we got to talk about his outfit in that scene. It's incredible.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, he looks like he's like, what if the 70s were now?
Yeah.
But one of the things is Floyd Lawton is he like French or something like that? Deadshot, the actual Deadshot character.
I don't know. I actually don't know much about him.
He wears that same hat in Gotham Knights. He has that like kind of fedora, like wide brim fedora-y kind of hat.
Okay.
It's just weird. Floyd Lawton generally was like a white French-looking dude with a mustache, and then they really upgraded him by making
Will Smith. Really did.
Real glow up. He turned into Will Smith.
Yeah. So then, like the daughter. Like Batman shows up. This is the first time we see Batman. He shows up to beat up a man in front of his daughter, where it's like
he says,
"Go ahead.
I don't want to do this in front of your daughter."
Yeah.
And I thought, why did you do this?
Yeah, you didn't need to come down here. You could have followed us.
Yeah.
You seem to be good at the stalking shadows thing. Like,
it's a real dick move.
Sure.
Because he shows up and then he acts like he's been inconvenienced. Because, he says, I don't want to do this for your daughter. And it's like, motherfucker, I just got out. I'm hanging out with my daughter. I don't always have my daughter. You could have waited for a day that my daughter wasn't here.
And also, he lets the daughter get in the way of the gun.
He sure does.
And it's like, Batman, you should have been like, no, not like that. Like, but he doesn't care.
Imagine being a kid and hanging out with your pa, and Batman shows up to arrest him too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's extreme.
Yikes!
Hell of a day.
That's a big yikes. Because she says, like, Mom says, I can't hang out with you because you kill people. Before that, and I just want to know what her what a life. Like, what is her perspective on her dad? Her mom is telling her that her dad kills people, but still like letting her hang out with him.
Yeah.
She says, like, Mom says, I can't live with you because you kill people or something.
Dave, let me pose to you a counter argument to that. Like, I'm not sure the mom is letting her go visit Deadshot, the world-class assassin. I'm sure she dares not let her go see Deadshot, the world-class assassin.
She says, Mom says, I can't live with you. And so, like, that's where she drew the line, apparently.
Well,
and I guess, I see what you're saying, which is she didn't have a choice.
He's a fucking murderer who kills people for money. Like, she's not gonna. She's probably too scared to do.
It's hard
anything
to say
like
no,
that.
But she still
hard to
drew
say
that
no
line.
to Floyd Lawton.
She was like, okay, but you can't live with him.
Mm.
I guess she knew that Deadshot didn't want that either. He was like, no, that's a good deal. Yeah. Single life, baby.
He wants to see his daughter on like Saturday afternoon.
Well, no, he wants custody of her. He says he's like,
well, then he should kill the mother, right? Kill the mother.
I believe
Take
comic
the
book
child.
Deadshot probably would do that. Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
They
He does it
changed
for
him
money.
significantly for this film.
Like, he's not a murderer. He's an assassin. Like, he's not a serial killer.
I have a question about him.
Of course
Is he
you do.
supposed to be the protagonist?
I think yes, I would say that he's supposed to be the sane member of the bunch.
Because it didn't work. Like, my biggest, the reason this movie lost me so much, I think, is because I realized halfway through, I don't like anybody.
No,
I don't like a single person in this movie.
You're supposed to like Rick Flag, and that probably would have worked if it was Tom Hardy, like it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But this guy just doesn't really land.
No, but I couldn't tell if the movie. There's a part later where Viola Davis executes her henchman.
Dude, and then they just go, "Damn, that's fucking cold."
Right, and they act like she's just being sassy. And then they have a scene later. She says, like, the next scene, she says something and walks away, and Killer Croc goes, "I like her," and I was like, "Wait, do you want me to like her movie?" Like, them saying that was like, she's all right.
No,
and it was
no.
What the fuck?
You're not supposed to like Amanda Waller.
Right, and that means I'm not supposed to like Killer Croc, which means I'm not supposed to like any of these
that's
fucking
not
people.
True.
Well, that's what it was. It's such a weird comment to be like, I like her, where it's like, I don't understand. Are you trying to get me on her side?
No, I think it's just because, like, she also has questionable moral values.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's more just like, oh, she's a monster like us. Like, she's a bad bitch. Killer Croc is my least favorite part of this movie.
Yeah.
But we'll get to him. Hold on, because we got Harley Quinn next.
I have a line that I need to point out in the Harley Quinn part.
So Harley Quinn, there's a scene where basically it's like Dr. Harleen Quinzel and blah blah blah, which is always the stupidest name.
It's just about the stupidest name ever.
They actually they did a really great retcon in the Harley Quinn cartoon. Mm-hmm. Where they were like, your name wasn't Harleen Quinzel. Like, you've been convinced of that, so it would be easier. Like, you got gaslit to this.
That's amazing.
And it was like, oh, damn. There is a really great scene that sort of mirrors Alex Ross's famous Harley Quinn comic, the first time that Harley Quinn was introduced into the main DC universe. Alex Ross painted the cover, and it's Joker in a tuxedo with Harley dancing, and so we see the classic Bruce Timm and Paul Dini costume for a split second. They're breaking out of Arkham because he convinces He asks Harley for a machine gun, and then other people break in to break him out anyway. So, like,
Yes.
I don't even know if he got the machine gun.
I need to point out this line because it's right there. Because this is all. By the way, we're like how long? 20 minutes.
We're
into the
about
movie?
4 minutes into the movie.
We're about 4 minutes into the
are
movie.
we? Okay. Because the first like 30 minutes of this movie take place with Viola Davis in a restaurant just talking.
Yes.
Yes.
So she's explaining what happened to Harley Quinn. And the person I believe she explains it to, because the
It's
story
David
is
Harbour.
Is David
okay,
Harbour.
It's David Harbour. Jesus, she basically explains she was his therapist,
Yeah.
and then he gaslit her, brainwashed her, and she brought him a machine gun. And he says, "Talk about a workplace romance gone wrong," and that's not what a workplace romance is.
No.
A therapist and her patient isn't a workplace
And her crime patient.
right.
Yeah.
And then that gone wrong, as if the relationship was fine. That's just your run-of-the-mill workplace romance, but then it went wrong.
Well,
There's a lot of lines like
we
that
have two
in this.
things going in. I want to talk about the Joker, the Jared Leto's Joker, and I want to talk about how I kind of like this Joker. And he is massively hated. People
Yes, he is.
hated him. Which is one of the reasons I like him, because if shitty fans hate something, I like it so much more.
Yes.
A lot of people called him the Hot Topic Joker, but it's like we already got Jack Nicholson and we got fucking Heath Ledger.
Let me interject real quick.
Okay.
Every Joker is the Hot Topic Joker.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeff, I'm also going to agree with you on this.
Like,
I like the Joker in this.
he's done pretty well. Jared Leto is good at this. Like, pretending that Jared Leto is a bad actor or bad at doing this because he's in a movie you didn't like, or it's a design you didn't like, or he's just not Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger is fucking super unfair.
Yeah.
This was the aesthetic that they wanted for this film. Like, why not?
And also, to me, this is because we've always talked about Heath Ledger as the gritty, grounded Joker, right?
Yeah.
This, to me, is actually the most gritty, grounded Joker, because if a man, a crime dude, was going around being a gangster and dressing like a clown, this is exactly the douchebag you would expect.
Right.
Yes.
He would be the most repellent dickhead
And he is.
to be around.
That's the...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just with the new Joker, the Todd Phillips. I'm sick of the Joker being this like edgelord that like goth kids idolize. And so to see a Joker that's like, oh, I don't like him. He's not cool. He's just like a murderer and like a scumbag with like weird face tattoos. I really appreciated that because it felt like the first Joker that was like actually a villain.
I would say the Jack Nicholson Joker would be the same, because he started the same way, where he's just like, he was a mafia dude.
You're right. And
who
he's
then
really
was just like, fuck it, I'm going to kill everybody.
and he's like scummy with that lady and stuff. So he's not one I idolize either. But like the Heath Ledger Joker, he's cool. Like even to me, it's just like, look how cool he is.
Yeah,
he's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to see a Joker that isn't cool.
Now, in one of the strangest scenes of a very strange movie, and strange for a weird reason, you see the Joker having like a crime meeting in his like disco, and the person he has
a crime summit with fucking Common?
with Common, who by the way, this was Common at a very good time in Common's career. Common did not need to have this role. He gets 6 lines, and 4 of them are, "That's your lady, dog," or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy. He's like, "I don't want no beef." He's like, "Beef, you want beef?" And it's just so fucking bananas that Common took this role. Common should have been one of the guys in the
Should have been one of the Suicide
Squad.
Squad.
And instead, he gets a dude that is just thrown to the Joker like Worf in the beginning of a Star Trek episode to show that he gets his ass kicked.
I know this is not how movies are made, but it's a role that felt like Common had visited the set and they're like, "You want to get in on this?"
Kind of.
Yeah. Just like, "You want to jump in?"
Kind
Hopping
of.
on this?
It's the Bob the Goon of this fucking movie. Is Jared Leto friends with Common?
Man, I don't know.
Oh wait,
Somebody might be.
I bet Will Smith is friends with Common.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like, not for nothing, but if I was going to pick somebody out of that crowd, it's not Ike Barinholtz that's friends with Common. So, oh my God.
I mean, maybe. We don't know.
We don't know what Common does.
So then we cut to the Batmobile. And while they're doing this, they also are expressing that Harley Quinn is kind of a worse version of the Joker because Harley Quinn's, like, the Joker's a bit more predictable and Harley Quinn's a lot more of a wild card.
Right.
And they kind of imply that she's a lot more fearless, like that she has no sense of fear.
Yeah, actually, can I back up on Jared Leto Joker?
Sure.
You know why that it was also an amazing decision? Because maybe they were like, we want Harley Quinn to be the main character.
This isn't about the Joker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so let's
exactly.
make the Joker just a douchey ex-boyfriend.
And that's kind of
Like,
how
and-
this works, yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And they play it out. Like, you can definitely see the gaslighting and the abuse in there, and you
Yeah.
can also see that she's tied to it. Because there's so much about Harley and the Joker being, you know, in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
And that you like everybody expects that everything about Harley and the Joker should be Harley rejecting the Joker. It's like, yeah, but you want to set up this whole process, which is why he's keeping her strung along this whole time.
Right, and hopefully, like the new one, that will actually
Yes.
be the direction.
But
they
like
go.
everybody was mad that this movie doesn't resolve that, and I fucking can't stand that people whine and complain about the Thing all the time.
Well, I will say I wish the movie set it up more. Like showed that it was heading in that direction because it doesn't.
They do a little bit.
But what I'm saying is you have to spoon feed it to people. People are dumb, and
Yeah.
myself included. So like I didn't pick up on that.
Well, it starts with the fucking I don't want to kill you, I just want to hurt you real bad.
Right.
And then
No.
later we're going to get into like a flashback scene
Yeah.
of like how he creates Harley Quinn.
I didn't pick up on the fact that this is going to be her tearing away, because this is the problem with this movie is, again, like I couldn't tell who the movie wanted me to dislike and who it wanted me to like.
Well, I'll tell you what happens is whenever she's away from him, you start seeing her get closer to sanity and start realizing what her
Right.
life is like. And then he shows up and she immediately switches right back.
So the ending's supposed to be like a dark ending.
Yes.
But the movie, the way it's cut, the tone is just like you can't tell. That's what I mean.
The tone is
Yeah.
bananas in this
Yeah.
movie.
Well, anyway, there's a Batmobile chase and the Joker crashes in the water. She's like, I can't swim. And he's like, I don't fucking care.
'Cause I don't give a shit.
Batman drives.
I got my fronts.
Batman dives down, and for a half second, we see him with this really cool breathing apparatus on.
He's got like a Jedi breathing apparatus.
And he looks so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, Batman looks so cool in this. He dives down, and he tries to save her, and she takes a swing at him with a knife, and he just drills her in the face.
Yeah.
Fucking clocks her.
Drills her in the face, drags her back up, gives her mouth to mouth, and she starts making out with him,
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
which happens twice in this movie.
Batman must have been so excited when the car went in the water. He'd be like, oh, I have a thing for that.
got a
And like,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, I
Because
brought
he
my
never
thing. I
gets
brought
to
my
use
water
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm glad I have it here, because I was going to leave it home, and then
Yeah.
I was like, you might need it, better to have it,
There's only
not
so
need
many
it than to
pouches
need
on
it.
this utility belt, bro.
Better to have it, not need it, than need it and not have it, So then she cuts to Digger Harkness, who's Captain Boomerang. This is a very fun little thing where he's hoovering up, he's got a dustbuster, and he's stealing diamonds with a partner, and then he murders his partner with like a bladed boomerang. And then the Flash shows up saying like, oh, where's honor among thieves? Which is also to imply that the Flash just watched a murder happen
Yes.
that's
and
true.
didn't like stop the boomerang.
Well, he thought of his line.
Yeah.
And
It
I wanted
also-
to say it.
It reminded me, this was what reminded me that there's like, oh yeah, there's like, that's who stops the next Superman. Like there's, again, Justice League, Superman goes bad in
Yeah.
the next Justice League. And yeah, fucking Boomerang doesn't show up to stop him.
What's
The
funny
Flash
about
does.
Boomerang is Boomerang is the character where like people are like, really, this fucking guy?
Yeah.
And then even Viola Davis is like, he's gone head to head against Metas several times.
Right.
Like he's not, and he's a very funny and he's a good character in this movie.
Yeah, I very much enjoy Captain Boomerang.
And also, he looks just like Tom Hardy as well.
Yes.
So if Tom Hardy was playing Rick Flag, I would have been like, I hope there's a line about how they look a lot alike.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Diablo, and it's basically they're just like, he's a cholo, and he burned a bunch of things. Anyway,
Well,
let's
and his
keep
family.
moving. Yeah, he fucking tortures his family. They cut to Killer Croc, Waylon Jones, and they said, evolution took a step back with this one. He looked like a monster. They treated him like a monster, so he became a monster. It's like, is that how this works?
Yeah.
He developed gills because of that.
Yeah, he developed the ability to breathe underwater because of that.
And then she says
people were mean to him.
He was chased out of Gotham by the bat. And it's like, oh, so he's the only one that was smart enough to understand that he should leave Gotham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I gotta get out of here.
I think I don't know much about Killer Croc, but just looking at like that seems like a guy. If he was actually just like a decent guy that just looked like that and realized he was in a town that was run by a guy named Batman, I would just be like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well
yeah,
for me
like
at all.
I could be a model citizen. Doesn't matter.
So Killer Croc, generally speaking, has been kind of this like. There have been different interpretations of him, and this is just he's a crocodile. He's a black guy who happens to be a crocodile. And
he's like the fluke monster in the X-Files.
Yes, but if the fluke monster was a legitimate offensive black stereotype.
Okay. Yeah, because even in this, he demands BET.
Dude.
Yeah.
I don't... Like... Killer Croc looks amazing in this. Killer Croc looks so good. He's the reason they won an Oscar.
They won an Oscar, yeah.
For
makeup.
basically
right,
this.
They did.
They beat Star
effects.
Trek Beyond. And they deserved it. This is fucking amazing. And then his
This
characterization
is
is
an Oscar-winning
the dumbest fucking thing on the planet.
Right.
This is that's right. This is only the second movie that's won an Oscar that we've discussed.
What's one of the Tim
Dark
Burton
Knight,
ones?
Heath Ledger.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And so we got Killer Croc. So they go Killer Croc. Let's see. And then they talk about the sorceress.
Who is...
Or the enchantress, excuse me.
The Enchantress,
Her origin story is that she's a shitty archaeologist.
She's a model / archaeologist.
What?
Essentially.
Yes.
Which is a believable thing because I had a model / entomologist on my show. So
Sure.
that's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's Cara Delevingne.
Delevingne.
She finds an artifact and just cracks it open on purpose.
And it
Yeah.
possesses her.
Yes. But like, even if it didn't possess her,
Yeah.
if you're an archaeologist and you find something, you don't
open.
crack it open.
What are we gonna do?
Maybe you don't.
Yeah.
That's why you're not an archaeologist.
Because you're a
Dave.
coward, Dave.
Sure. Like what it's just bad. That's just bad work. She doesn't drop it. It's not accidental. She finds it and says, let's see what's inside of this.
Yeah. And then so she fucking gets possessed, and then she's like, but we have her heart.
Yes.
And we can stab it. And then she's like, but we also have Rick Flag, who's been porking the enchantress.
Hold on. The line is, some say the witch has a secret buried heart. And to my response is, who says that?
Yeah.
Where did you find that out?
Where'd you pick this rumor up?
Yeah, they
Reddit?
gloss over that completely, and it was just like, I need to know more about her secret buried heart. Please.
Yeah. This is there's a lot going on in this film. So then there's
There's too much.
They have a meeting, and it's about controlling metahumans in case the next Superman sucks. It's the security briefing, and they're like, doctor, and then she just goes, enchantress, and becomes the enchantress, and all these people are like, all right.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what the fuck, man? You brought one of these in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. They really take the realization that magic is a true and real force in the world totally in stride.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, man. Superman exists. And he got killed by a hybrid alien Lex Luthor bone monster.
That's
so there has to be this acceptance in the DC universe where you're just like, sometimes this is a fucking nightmare and weird shit happens that we're never going to understand.
Is the Enchantress?
That's a fair point.
Is her last name Moon?
Yes, Dr. June Moon.
Dr. June Moon.
June
okay,
Moon, baby.
Just wanted to clarify that.
So, but it's not that they accept that it exists, But the fact that they accept that they let that woman into their super security briefing.
Yes.
And nobody was like, hey, why is an archaeologist here in this meeting of defense?
Yes.
And then she disappears and comes back with Iranian fucking nuclear secrets. I'm like, we've been trying to get these plans for years. It's like, yeah, man, we got a super demon.
This is the moment this movie, I think, officially is unfixable. Or it's fallen apart.
Really?
Well, when the witch shows up?
Yes.
Or when she immediately stabs the witch when she won't go away.
Yes. Well, it's a lot of things. It's the fact that we're now 20 minutes into the movie and nothing has happened. They haven't introduced
the characters, and there were little action vignettes.
Right. They haven't introduced what's at stake. I don't know. In fact, I wrote it down. I think at an hour and 40 is when they explain what's at stake.
Sure.
They never really explain what's happening.
The villains are a MacGuffin. It's not really. It's like it's kind of dumb.
Also, we haven't left like the restaurant intro where it's Viola Davis just explaining things, and I get like
no, she hops to the meeting, to the general meeting.
Oh, right.
Because David Harbour's there with her, being like, "Oh, you'll never guess what she told me over dinner."
But I get like, okay, in the first 20 minutes of a movie, you introduce the characters. That's what you do. But you don't do it by just having a monologue of someone explaining directly to us who the characters are. And they don't meet each other until like 50 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, no, because that's what's going to happen. And there's a scene where like fucking it becomes Dr. Moon again, and she basically is like, I can't fucking take this. We need to stop doing this.
Yes.
And then Amanda Waller just goes, get her out of here.
Yes.
and I'm like, damn, this bitch is cold.
Again, I didn't know because, all right, is what's his fuck from The Killing? Is that what that's called? Or the boyfriend of June Moon?
Rick Flag.
Joel Kinnaman, right?
Joel Kinnaman, yeah. Are we supposed to like him? Because there's later a point where she goes to him and she's like, I can't do this. I hate this. And he grabs her head and goes like, just do it. Okay, just do it. And it was just like, wait, because there's points where he's like, oh, I'm so sad and I'm on your side. It's like, I hate you. Well, I hate all of you.
It's about duty, man. Like he's a fucking military dude.
They just torture this woman.
Yep. And then she's like, fuck this. I'm destroying this fucking planet.
Yeah. I'm on her side.
So, like Amanda Waller, Viola Davis plays Amanda Waller correctly. Like, this is what Amanda Waller is supposed to be like. Like, she's a real piece of shit.
Yeah. It's that plus incompetence because all their guards are like racist, pervert, compulsive gamblers of the prison.
So they're like regular prison guards.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just prison guards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what a stretch, Dave. It's definitely good that you called that out.
It's this weird combination of like, I don't like them. I don't like what they're doing. They're hurting everybody. And they're incredibly incompetent.
They're not incompetent.
They cause their own problem by being shitty. They are incompetent. That guard gives the cell phone to Harley Quinn while like screaming out, it's from Mr. J.
We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
No, hold on. But that's one break in the flaw. They're not necessarily incompetent so we go to Bel Rev and Ike is being an asshole because Ike is an asshole. He's supposed to be an asshole.
Okay.
So Ike Barinholtz is like, hey, it's a pleasure to meet you. And Colonel Flagg's just like, fucking, I'm the +1. You want to talk to her.
Right.
And so he's like, all right, we got who you need. And they go and talk to Diablo. And he's like, I ain't no weapon. I'll die in peace before I raise my fist again. And then so like we're really being pushed that Diablo is a pacifist. This actor,
they say to him, put the burrito down.
Oh yeah,
sure
it's straight up racist. Yeah.
Well, also like, what the fuck's wrong with burrito? Everybody loves burritos.
Yeah, but you see, he's Mexican.
I know, I get, yeah.
Like he's from Boyle Heights.
Sure.
Like he's from about 20 minutes away from us.
Yeah, he's in a water tank.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And he's got the very Zen thing. The actor that they got for him, and I forget who he is actually very
Jay Hernandez.
He's very good.
Yeah, he's great.
Like
he's playing Magnum PI on TV right now.
There's a lot of polished turds in this film.
Oh, for sure.
Where like the movie is super dumb, but like really well done and committed by the people that are playing the characters.
There should be a Batman villain called Polished Turd, by the way.
They'd be like, Polish turd? I don't understand. No. That's not it. It's so. And then we get the scene with Deadshot with the guns. To which there's a line. Because, like, basically, he immediately points the gun at Ike Barinholtz.
I have this line written down as well.
And then he fucking shoots it off, and he's like, these are dummy rounds. If I pull the trigger, nothing happens to you, and they throw me back in jail. I'm not an idiot, basically. And then he fires it up, and it goes off, and he goes, y'all jokers must be crazy.
That wasn't the line I have written down.
Oh, you have a different line written?
Yes, because it's like you said at the beginning, it's him saying to all the guards, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to kill you all. And then they're just like, here's some loaded guns. And they're just like, it'll be fine. And he picks it up, points it immediately at the shittiest guard. And the guard is like, oh, come on. And he goes, see, guys, this is what I was worried about. And it's like, yeah, no shit. It was just such a silly line of like, I told you this would happen.
You. Yeah.
But like this is also indicative of what this movie is, which is fun, which they did not do with Batman versus Superman is not fun.
No.
This is a very fun. This is a fun 80s movie with a 2016 budget.
I said on Twitter that John Carpenter should have directed this, and
did you?
Yeah, it would have worked so well.
But this is a very 80s movie.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem, though, is I know what you're saying, but this scene specifically is the second time now in 30 minutes we're with the only likable character, Will Smith. Everybody else is irredeemable. Everybody else has proven to be criminals and like shitty and murderers and betraying each other, and not like cool criminals, like unlikable, like shitty people.
I think Cotton Boomerang is a likable, shitty
He's
person.
fine.
Right, he's a lovable douchebag.
But none of them are like charismatic enough to carry the film. And there's so many, and they start with the shittiest people. Like they start with Viola Davis. There's no character that's like this should have started.
Well, you're also supposed to like Harley Quinn because she is very attractive.
Yeah, okay. But like this should have started with like following Deadshot on a mission, and he gets captured by Batman, and then he goes to the prison, and like it should have just been from his perspective.
What's funny,
and then they bring him in, and he's in a room with all of them. You know, like we needed a protagonist.
What's funny about this is Rick Flag looks at Amanda Waller. He's like, "You don't have to do this. Like, I can get you." Yes. 24 of the top level Navy SEALs that will do whatever you want us to do.
And he's not wrong.
And then she just goes, I'll keep your girlfriend in a medically induced coma if you fucking say that again.
Yeah.
And then
she really wants this super team of supervillains.
Someone needs to stop her.
This is like her. She's like the Terry Gilliam. Like she just has to have this movie.
And no one, everybody around her is just like, you need to stop. This is insanity.
This is a bad idea.
And that's why it's all just one bad idea.
Well, yeah, because then it cuts to the Joker who's like laying down, in like a weapons. In like a weapon, he's making like a weapons angel.
Yeah, that he clearly set up.
But then there's also, did you notice there's baby clothes?
No.
In that scene, in the top right-hand corner of where we see the room from the overhead, there's fucking baby clothes. And like, I don't know what they were going for with that. Like, was Harley pregnant or something? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe he went to buy the knives, and the guy was like, "Hey, I gotta unload these baby clothes. You want some?" And he was like, "Yeah, that'd be fucking creepy."
That's something weird, right?
Yeah.
Also, the Joker has like a lawyer who's also an enforcer, and it's fucking great.
Yeah,
there's that one dude who's like,
it's a you got to economize.
Yeah, man, that guy he's on that hench app, man. He's high level.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to Ike having a gambling problem, which is convenient. And then the Joker shows up, and he's like, I'm going to kill your fucking family if you don't do what I tell you to do. So there we go. We set it up. Then we have, there's a storm, and Flag is eating chicken, and then you just hear Enchantress. And he starts having visions of Julie dying. And then the Enchantress goes to Waller's place because she wants the heart. But when she gets close to it, an alarm goes off, so she takes off, goes back to where she was found, steals a totem, which I don't understand why they didn't take the second totem.
I have no notes for this because I blacked out.
Yes, it's okay because I got this because it's super fast and it sets up the whole movie.
Yeah.
Frees her stupid demon brother
That's right.
Right, that we never, like, they didn't set up.
And then she's just like, she's like, it's different now. He's like, but we're gods. And she's like, they worship machines now.
So we'll build a machine.
And it's and then Julie comes back, and it's like a very Tyler Durden experience. Where she's like, what happened while I was gone? You have to...
Right.
Like, you can't trust her. It's like, I know. That's why we have that heart to stab.
Yeah. She's a dark witch.
So then the demon does a bunch of demon shit. And Task Force X is live.
Yes.
And so now we have to get the team together. They're getting the team together, and even though everybody has consented to being a part of this team, they immediately fight about being a part of this team. They have to tase Harley Quinn. Floyd is like, all right, let's go. He's like ready to fight everybody. It's like, you know what's happening.
Is this before or after the blue light explosion?
The blue light explosion.
When the Enchantress, her plan starts.
I don't remember, but maybe
it's
not.
a blur. I
don't recall.
I'm hoping someone could answer. I don't know what the Enchantress was doing throughout the entire movie.
I think she's kind of terraforming Earth.
Okay.
But she needs power.
Do they say that?
I think she's saying she's going to destroy the planet.
At one point, there's just all this blue shit happens, and some museum explodes, and one of the military guys says, I thought this was contained. And I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Okay, so there's some subway shit where, like, they inhabit some, like, fucking stockbroker and he becomes the demon.
Yes.
And then, but he's, like, still weak, so he has to keep getting stronger and stronger. And now he's sharing his power with her because she doesn't have a heart, because Waller has it. And until she gets her heart back, they're, like, splitting it. So it's, like, this weird shared power thing.
Right.
It's dumb.
For all we know, I guess what I'm getting to is she could have been, like, solving climate change and just not telling us, because she's just like, I'm going to build a machine. And then we don't really know what she's doing, and there's a blue light, and they're like, we have to stop her. But what if she was...
turning everybody into demons.
Is that what's happening?
Well, she is, by making
turning
out
them into
with
putties?
She's making them out into putties, yeah. We see that later. So,
turn to the Putty Patrol.
So she's getting fucking carted away after being tased. And Ike Barinholtz, in front of the military, hands a fucking BlackBerry to her and goes, it's from Mr. J.
Yes.
And it's like, dude, you need to keep it down. Literally everybody is watching.
Everybody should have stopped and been like,
what is that?
Yeah, what did you just say? We only know one J guy.
One Mr. J.
Yeah. We've met Harley Quinn, and you slipped her something.
Yeah.
Was that like a
Not
candy
even
bar?
Handed her something.
Yeah.
That's what, again, incompetent. They're all awful.
So then the Joker pulls up to Science Town with a gift basket bomb, and then they kidnap a doctor who can turn off the stuff. Okay. Anyway, the Enchantress's heart keeps getting stabbed, and she's like, the brother demon is like, have some of my power. And it's like, all right. And then all the guys are like, our weapons are ineffective. And it's like, no shit. Of course
why would you
they
think
are.
they would have been?
So Harley Quinn, like, they're all being sort of surrounded by the military, and like all the everyone's there, and Harley Quinn's like, what's that? I should kill everyone and escape? And she's like, sorry, that's just the voices in my head. And then she goes, that's not what they said. It's
It's cute.
It's a charming little scene.
I like Harley Quinn, but I think it's just because I like Margot Robbie's performance.
She's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, what I mean is I don't know if I like the character. I just like the actress's performance.
If you can play the character right, which I think she nails the character better than anybody else could have.
Yeah.
Like, she really
incredible.
nails it. She's
I can't wait for Birds of Prey. Just
right
because...
actress, right time. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fucking, and then they got Captain Boomerang in like a fucking in like a duffel bag, and I think they call him 12 pounds of shit in a 10-pound bag or something like that. They zip him out. He gets out, immediately drills one dude.
He punches the first guy he sees.
It's so funny. It's fucking great. Because he gets out, fucking drills a dude, and he's like a wild animal getting let out of a bag. Yeah. And it's fucking amazing.
It's pretty great, yeah.
We're now 45 minutes into the movie. I just got to point that out.
We're 25 minutes into the movie. We're 45 minutes into the podcast.
No. I wrote it down.
55 minutes into the podcast.
Oh, yeah. No. All right. We're 45 minutes in. I wrote it down because this is when they're like, basically their assemble moment to like, let's go do it. And I was like, looked at the fucking time code, and it was, I think, officially when Katana is introduced, that's 47 minutes in.
Oh, jeez. So then we go, oh, here comes Flip Top, the man who can climb anything. And
is
I
his
immediately...
name Flip Top?
No, Slipknot. Slipknot.
Oh, is it Slipknot?
It's Slipknot.
It's Slipknot.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. I
wish his name was Flip Top.
I heard Flip Top when they said it. Never mind. Slipknot.
Yours is way better.
And my immediate thing was, even when I saw this in the movie theater, I was like, oh, he's going to die immediately.
Yes.
They're going to kill him right away.
And they don't make a joke of it because the movie spends, now it's, again, 45 minutes in, they spent introducing all the characters.
Yeah.
And so they spend so much time doing that, and then they're like, and here's Slipknot. All right, let's go. It's like, oh no, that's not a character at all.
He gets out of his like Uber Black.
He literally, he just like shows up onto the set,
And some cop
like, hey,
goes,
guys.
good luck, scumbag. And he fucking, it's a woman, and he drills her. And I'm like, oh, he's so dead.
Oh yeah.
And he says she had a mouth. And then they give the whole, we put bombs in your head, and I can use my iPad to kill you.
Yeah,
Sort
it's
of
very Escape from New York.
move, yeah. And then they have the scene where they get their gear back while Eminem's "Without Me" starts playing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really fun because Diablo just gets a wife beater back
Yes.
and like a varsity jacket.
Right. And shouldn't he have just had those anyway?
Yeah, that
Like,
should have been just
they confiscated that? Like,
yeah.
did they think that was the source of his powers?
That's less clothes than he had as a prison.
Yeah.
It's funny because she at first looks at her like classic Harley costume and she's like, nah. And then she dresses in her like really cool slutty outfit.
Right.
But there's a scene where she's putting her shirt on and she's got like a shiny red bra. And that wasn't like prison issue.
You're right.
Which means that she definitely went topless in front of everybody at one point in time.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
That makes sense for a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm respecting Diablo now more just because everybody has their costumes and Diablo's just like, no, I make fire.
Yeah.
And they're like, do
What
you
do I
have
need a
like a
costume?
helmet or something? He was like, no, I make fire.
I'm a fucking gangster, man.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, what do I need a costume
I want to be
for?
comfortable while I make fire.
y'all need costumes. I don't need a costume.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
make
I'm good.
fire.
I'm all set.
I'm-
I'm all set over here.
Like shit's flammable, man. I don't need to burn a costume.
I kind of wish Superman did that too. If he was just in sweatpants, no shirt, because he's just like, yeah, I'm Superman. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do? Fucking I don't need to get a tailored
Yeah, I don't
fucking-
need an outfit. I'm fucking.
It was one of the New 52 books. Superman was literally wearing blue jeans
Yeah.
when he went and fought crime.
in Action Comics, yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
One of my favorite comics of all time was this DC comic in the 90s called Major Bummer, and it was about this like lazy Gen X like 20-something guy who had like Superman's powers, but he just didn't want to do anything. And so like but shit would like come flying at him. It was so good. So then Waller kind of just yells at them, and then Katana shows up, and basically they made her Magic Sword Punisher,
Yes.
and she's great.
She is pretty sweet.
15
yeah.
minutes
It's a character I like from the comics. But it is like, it's just sort of like her and Slipknot. They're just kind of like, oh, and by the way, here are these people.
It felt like they ran out of time.
They did.
Here's the thing. They introduced the characters. This movie is such a fucking mess. They introduced the characters twice.
Yeah.
They have a whole monologue of her introducing them, and then the characters have to meet each other.
Yeah.
And it's like you can do, again, if this started from Deadshot's point of view, him going to prison, this sort of like talk of Harley Quinn,
Yeah.
like she's like Hannibal Lecter, like kept away, and then he gets recruited, and then he gets in a room with them all, and then they all explain their backstory in like a more concise way. They could have done that in like 30 minutes.
The
but
problem
instead we're
is
50 minutes in.
What's bigger, the actor Will Smith or the character Harley Quinn?
Right.
And that's the hard part because That's why there's like a conflict of leads here.
Yeah, well, I would argue that the bigger thing is whoever is the goddamn protagonist. And it feels like maybe they couldn't get Will Smith for long enough to make him the...
No, this was his a thing for him. He got her on the movie.
Yeah.
Like he was like, she needs to be
Oh, no,
Harley
what
Quinn.
I mean is like they couldn't afford to have Will Smith there long enough to make him the protagonist. Because
I don't think it. I think what it actually was is that Harley Quinn is a leviathan of a character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think it's they couldn't decide which character to make the
That's
main
exactly
character
right.
because of that reason.
Yes,
yeah.
but they needed to. But even if that was an issue, still don't start the movie with 30 minutes of someone just explaining who they are.
You know what's weird though is that those are two of the best parts of the movie. Is like those the backgrounds of each character.
Yes,
like
but
they're
it's also
fun, and then the meeting group. You're right; it's unnecessary. But at least it's fun.
It's all dead weight, and like they could have still done the funness in an origin that gets them there. Like even if it's just them explaining, and you do those flashbacks,
it could have been done better.
Yeah. So by the time they get to Katana, they're just like, "And here's Katana," and I'm like, "Okay,
and here's Katana." Yeah.
I don't know who that is."
Also, when they get to the city, I immediately stop caring.
Yes.
Well, once they get to the city, it becomes very formulaic and kind of
Yeah.
Also, it's great that they're fucking. Oh, and they're all. So Joker texts Harley and says, "I'm coming for you," and she's like, "Meh." And then Floyd sees it.
Yes.
He sees the text. He's like, "Well."
Also, what was Joker's plan that he needed to get that phone to her? He didn't need to get that phone to her.
Well, he's going to break her.
Got to coordinate her somehow.
Yeah, how are you going to do that? You have to tell her where to be because she's going to be with a group of people.
Like he texts her where to go.
It's just
stuff.
At the end, he literally just breaks into the prison and gets her, and it was like, well, just do that, Joker. Why didn't you do that at the beginning?
I mean, I feel like she got taken off, but that's also a thing where like the Joker sort of acts like I only want you when other people have you.
Sure.
Exactly.
And so like when she's in prison, he doesn't care because it's prison. But when it's like it's like a husband, it's like a weird shitty husband who's like he's like, "Oh, it's fine when it's at work, but if you go and hang out with another guy."
I guess yes. No, I agree with that. It's just funny the phone itself because doesn't he then just sort of break like I don't see why the phone was needed cuz he could at any point it seems just break into the prison and grab her. So it's just funny to me that his whole plan involves I need you to sneak to her this phone, and then all the phone says is I'm coming to get you, and it's like, oh, okay.
Well, he also tells her where to be. The choppers are immediately shut down by bullets, which is weird when like you're going up against a magic villain,
right?
And yet it's bullets. Because when they fight the putties, do the putties ever fire guns?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But they have like weird blade weapons.
This is the point also where the movie becomes incoherent to me for not just plot wise but visually. The putties are the same color as the background.
Yeah, they're shiny black.
Yeah, and so it becomes just blurry and dark for the rest of the movie.
Yes, no, it's strange. Boomerang. So they get out. One chopper, the chopper with people that aren't metahumans, lands fine. And then the supervillain chopper rolls like a motherfucker, and then they get out, and they're like, "Oh, that was fun." Boomerang is walking with Slipknot, and he's like, "Oh man, we got to get out of here. This is our chance, right?"
Get out of here, mate.
And he's like, they're just lying about that thing in there, and so he like convinces him to sort of.
This is incredible.
And he fucking turns.
He uses like grappling hook to get away.
And he fucking drills a dude. And Slipknot just like jumps away and he's like 18 feet above them. And I'm like, dude, the fucking Navy SEALs could just shoot you down.
It's so funny.
But instead he fucking blows up. They blow up his
head blows the fuck up.
Again, these are the people they chose. And I know what you're saying that is for her dirty deeds. But these are the people they keep telling us is to fight the next Superman.
Climb guy.
And he zip lines away and everybody just watches him zip line away. And then,
he's really amazing at the rock wall.
Yeah, and he's just like, aha! And then they just like casually blow up his face and his corpse slaps across like a window.
It's really kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
And then they see monsters and they're like, let's avoid them. And then they can't. And we have the big We have a big fight. Also, this movie moves very fast now.
Yes.
Because we're big fight, Flag is taken, and then he's saved by Harley. At first, she's like, fuck him. And then Floyd, Deadshot's like, if he dies, we die, right? That's like the thing they told us. And so she's like, fine, and they save him.
Right.
And then Deadshot just fucking goes crazy. And there's a scene where he gets on top of a car, and it's very fucking Omega Man. It's very like Last Man on Earth standing, blowing everybody away. It's a really good.
I don't remember.
Looks awesome.
Okay.
It's when he's standing on the car using his wrist guns to shoot all the putties.
Fucking dope. It's so good. And then
it's like a zombie movie shot.
Yeah, it's great. And then everybody else is just watching it happen.
Yes.
Like all the military guys are watching it happen. And then
there's a lot of that. Like even in the finale, there's a lot of people just sidelined.
Yep. Boomerang also keeps going after his pink plush unicorn.
Yes.
And they only needed to do that once, and they do it like 4 times.
Yeah. Again, the moment Slipknot, his corpse slaps against the window, Viola Davis should have just been like, does anybody know like Batman's number? Like, okay, we're in over our heads. Let's shut it down. Let's call the Flash.
With our helicopters got shot down. Within seconds, Climb Guy tried to escape, so I blew his head.
We lost our Climb Guy. We needed him.
Isn't there like a really
Not
quick
sure what
guy?
he was going to do for us.
Let's get the quick guy to fight the witch. Like, for Christ's sakes, we made a real mess here.
Yeah. Is Wonder Woman around?
Yeah.
She was very impressive.
Yeah, and then they have to go to him and be like, so we kind of made a witch, and we don't know how to undo
We
this.
accidentally unearthed a witch?
Yeah.
You might have met the witch.
Yeah.
She's from around when you're from around, right?
Right.
So all of a sudden the military guys look at Flag and they're like, the briefing said terrorists. This is totally different. And then Rick Flag goes, would you have believed me if I told you? And it's like, yes, Superman exists in this world.
Yeah.
Of course I'd believe you. Anderson Cooper talked about Doomsday for 40 minutes last week. Like, yes, of course I'd believe you that there's a bunch of putty patrol running around.
Yeah.
And also they have this really weird revelation that the monsters were people. And they're like, oh, God, they were people. And it's like, yep.
Yeah. What
did you think they were?
That's all that happens. So they end up sort of going into a building. Harley gets into an elevator and she's getting attacked. And what this movie does, this is the scene where you start to realize that this movie does aliens very badly.
Yes.
Like it's doing the xenomorph in Aliens, but if it was in a really 80s budget.
Yes.
Right, with a bunch of characters that we're never afraid for.
Yes. It's also another one of those moments where I was like, how is she going to fight anything? Because she's great, but it takes all her effort to fight one of those putties. And it's
she
just
kicks
like
the shit out of him in an elevator. It's not bad. And
but it's just another situation where I was like, they're here to fight the next Superman. Like I just kept repeating that when these moments happened where it took all their effort to fight like one of these things.
Yeah. Well, she does,
she does great.
She does a great little thing, but you're right.
Again, it's not her. It's not any of them.
You're never afraid of these monsters.
Yeah, it's what they are. It's what they keep saying their purpose.
The putties don't kill anybody.
Yes.
And that's like a real thing. So like, you're never afraid for anybody in this film.
No.
Flag is grabbed by more demon guys. They keep trying to like pull him away.
What are they there to do at this point?
They're chaff. Oh, what are they? What are the Suicide Squad there to do?
Yeah, what's
rescue
their purpose?
A high-profile target
In an office building.
Yes,
correct.
Okay,
that's what they're there to do.
Okay,
and like theoretically,
does that pay off?
Stop. Huh?
Does that pay off?
Yeah.
Okay, just no. That's fine.
So there's all these demon guys, and then so Deadshot keeps like antagonizing Diablo and like being like, you gotta do something, bitch. Like he's
right. He's like trying to piss him off into like going supernova.
Yes.
And so finally Diablo's like, you want to see what it's gonna be like? And then he torches everybody. And then he's like, I was just trying to get you there. We cool?
Yeah. And this was the point where it's like, oh, I just hire Diablo.
Oh, also he
don't
goes,
need any of the other people.
He goes, that shit crazy.
Yeah.
That shit crazy. And then
some kind of Suicide Squad.
yeah, what was some kind of Suicide Squad? And I think that is going to be a sode. This scene is directly in the middle of the movie.
Okay, yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
like the 1 hour mark.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's right about the 1 hour mark because next week we're gonna see more.
Next week, we're going to hurdle towards the amazing, thrilling conclusion of
This
Suicide
fucking
Squad.
movie.
This you know
And
what's funny?
Spend another hour pointedly not talking about Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except for the last 3 minutes, but. Batman's in it. He is a specter of this movie, the shadow of the Bat.
It counts.
Copyright DC Comics. Is there. So unfortunately, we can't not talk about Suicide Squad. So here we are.
We have to address it.
So join us next week. This was a free episode.
Oh.
A free episode.
This was a free episode. So join us next
My
week
goodness.
at the Gamefully Unemployed Patreon. Where you can experience more of this lovely stuff here.
Usually there's way more Batman
Yeah.
in this show.
Yeah.
If this is the first episode you're hearing, this is not really the
Shouldn't
best
be.
representation.
This shouldn't be your first episode.
This needed to
Yeah, it
happen,
really
though.
shouldn't be.
I'm
But-
glad you had me for this.
I really am glad. Yeah. And so if you like more, check out Gamefully Unemployed, which David Bell, you want to talk more about that?
Fine. It's patreon.com/gamefully unemployed. Folks, we have exclusive podcasts such as this one that you are listening to, as well as Fox Mulder's A Maniac. It's $5 a month to hear two great podcasts. I'm told they're fantastic podcasts. Many have said.
I like
Many people
I'm
are
a fan.
saying this. So check it out, folks.
Yeah. We got like new tiers and stuff there, so you guys should check that out. And we also got a store, tpublic.com/store/gamefully unemployed. You can check out some sweet t-shirts and stickers and mugs and posters and stuff.
Maybe get some merch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jeff.
Oh, God. Check out Sideshow with Jeff May every other Tuesday through Sideshow Collectibles, which is corporate as fuck, man. I have a corporate podcast.
You
corporate
do have
as
a corporate
fuck.
podcast.
Which that's fun.
You're like the Rock's heel turn in the 90s.
I love
Yeah.
it, man. I fucking love it. You can check me out. I do a bunch of stuff with Unpopular Opinion with Adam Todd Brown. We've got a lot of fun projects going, and you can check out Jose Can Say Cast, which even if you're not an Unpops member, I think you're going to be able to buy that series real cheap,
Ooh.
which is going to be a real treat because that is a real fun podcast.
It's the best.
Jose
Yeah.
Can Say Cast is one of the things I'm so proud of.
You gonna get him? You gonna get him for the podcast?
Oh, I don't think he's a fan. He wouldn't
Yeah,
even
track
do
it
our.
down.
He wouldn't even do our $150 cameo.
No, there's an ongoing side of narrative about it in the show if you listen to it.
Mint on Card is the second Friday of every month at Blast from the Past on Magnolia in Burbank. We've got our 4th anniversary show on Friday, January 10th. It's a dope lineup. We're so excited we get to do it. Don't forget to check out all of us on social media. Support the stuff we do. Support artists, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Freelancing is a fucking nightmare.
We're so
Support
hungry.
artists.
Yeah.
It's rough out there for freelancers, particularly in California. There's a new law about to be passed. So if you guys have creators that you like, just make sure you're following.
You
their
can
stuff.
you can support, pay for Patreons and etc.
Yeah, just follow the people you like.
Yeah.
Like you're already doing.
Support, rate, review, subscribe. Like I can't stress this enough.
Mhm.
The optics are so out of control if you just leave a positive review.
And just like a dirty
Yeah.
picture or two.
Yeah.
Every now and
Yeah.
then.
Drop one of those in there.
Venmo
yeah.
cash to
It's-
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Send PayPal
absolutely.
monies.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Give us your credit card information.
Mhm.
You know, just the things you can do to support content.
Your hair.
creators.
Mail me your hair.
There's a lot.
Your hair.
Lots of hair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really there's so many ways you can contribute. So,
Mostly with the hair.
yeah, but primarily it's all hair based.
Yeah.
So
right.
that's the so. All right.
Let's get the hell out of
All
here.
right.
Bye.
Bye.
So that's it. What, we some kind of Suicide Squad?
Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at Justin T. Brown and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.